Hey, what's up you guys? This is John Chacon. This will be your instructional video on the barbell bench press. Now this is probably one of the most commonly used and known exercises, barbell exercises specifically, that you'll see in the gym. Before I get going on this, remember this is just for the barbell bench press. There are other ways that you can develop a bench press, especially if that bar doesn't feel good on your wrists, elbows, or shoulders. I'm going to show you technique and cues that I use to help make sure that I don't incur shoulder pain or elbow or wrist. Now, some other ways you can do it: you can use kettlebells, dumbbells. You can do it on the floor instead of at a raised surface if you don't have a bench available. I do have some people I've worked with that prefer a floor press over a bench press. The only difference is you're not able to get the full range of motion that you would with a bench press. With a floor press, your arm's just going to naturally stop when it's in line with your back. With the bench press, like the squat, the deadlift, it's so important to get a good setup. So often, just like when I see in squats and deadlifts, people get under that bar so quick, they grab it, they unrack, and they rock and roll. Take your time getting set up. It will pay off, and you will be able to use so much more of your strength potential to be able to move that bar correctly in the right path and dramatically reduce your potential for injury. Now, a couple of the key things when you set up. Your hand, your grip distance might be a little bit different than mine. I prefer about a shoulder width distance because I like to keep my arms in nice and tight. It allows me to engage my triceps and my upper back a lot easier. If, when you're doing your bench press, a lot of the emphasis is going on the front of your shoulders, or you're starting to feel wrist or elbow pain, chances are that movement's not being done correctly. Okay, so as I lower the bar, I'm going to try to give you some other angles as well. When I lower that bar after I unrack it, you want to make sure that your forearm is vertical. Okay, imagine like right in front of me is the ceiling. You want to keep that forearm vertical and your upper arm at about a 90-degree angle. That way you have as much leverage as possible. If your elbow's bent back and you're trying to press that bar up, you're going to lose some of that leverage and you won't be able to push as much weight as you potentially could. Okay? Other things I will say on this: your feet matter. Make sure you have a good flat foot position for your feet. Try not to use a bench that's too tall or where you can't reach the floor. You can use something else like rubber mats or some plates or something like that to put your foot down. It's going to matter because you're going to push off. As much as people want to emphasize that it's, yes, it is an upper body strength movement with the emphasis, however, you are going to use your feet to stabilize your torso and your hips to make sure they don't shift, because if they do, you're going to have to waste more energy stabilizing yourself than you are going to be able to press that weight. When you grip that bar, before you unrack it, I'm going to tell you to bend the bar. That doesn't mean bend it backwards. I want you to bend it forwards, because when you do, you're going to externally rotate your shoulder and you're going to allow yourself to engage your upper back, your shoulder blades, and you're going to make that bar part of your body. Okay? Experiment with different hand widths. Okay? You might feel more comfortable going wider out. You might feel more comfortable coming close in. I will say this: it is okay to use a thumbless grip. I do not recommend it if you are at all uncomfortable with it or if you're going for a max effort lift. I've used it before when I've incurred wrist injuries. Okay? There's so many people that will tell you, don't do it, it's against the rules. Well, no one made up the rules. We're making things up as we go as humans. Okay, a lot of the rules you've heard about with barbell movements over the years, someone created a barbell and started creating plates at a specific height, and we just decided that that was the way to go. So fit your tools to your body, not the other way around. Okay, make it work for you. So when I set up this bar, as I lay on this bench, that bar is about, make sure it's about wrist height. Okay, so as I extend my arms and I lay down, it's about the height of my wrist or just below it. That way, when I do grab the bar, I have enough weight to clear the J hook and get it off. Okay, now I'm going to lay back, and when I lay back, I'm going to set up so as I look up at the bar, that bar should be blocking my vision to the ceiling. In other words, my eyes are directly below the bar and I'm centered on the bar. Remember, the smooth part is the center and the knurling will be equal distance from the center point. Now that I'm centered, my feet are flat on the ground, and my eyes are looking directly up, I'm going to find my hand position. Again, everyone's going to be a little different. Just make sure both hands are equal distance from the center. I'm going to wrap my thumb and fingers around securely. I'm going to take in my belly breath, unrack the bar, and bring it out over top of my chest. From here, I'm going to bend that barbell forward, driving my biceps towards my face. I'm going to engage my upper back, let it sink down into my shoulder blades. Taking my belly breath, as I continue to bend that bar, I'm going to lower it under control to right about where my sternum or the base of my rib cage, and press up. Allow it to go that full range of motion and avoid any bouncing. When you're done with your desired number of reps, hit the rack, set it down. I personally, when I'm doing this on my own and I don't have a spotter, I actually leave the muscle clamps off the end of the collar. I don't recommend that in a public gym, but if you're on your own, at your own house, and you're in your garage, you don't have a spotter, don't put the spring collars on, okay? Because if you can't push that weight, and I've been there, you're gonna wanna let those plates slide off, okay? Very critical, after you bend that barbell backwards, or forwards rather, and you created that extra rotation before you let that bar start coming down, taking that nice deep belly breath, get that diaphragmatic breath, tighten up throughout your torso, drive through the floor, and lower that bar under control. Don't let it drop, lower it under control. Stabilize it at the bottom and push through. Make sure you allow your arms to go a full range of motion. Don't stop too soon, and make sure that you're allowing your shoulder blades to be engaged with that movement, okay? When you're done, also make sure that that bar gets on both J-hooks. I've seen it before where people will put on one J-hook, miss the other, and think they're done, and then that bar collapses, okay? So out of all of our movements, the bench press probably makes people the most nervous, but people also like it the most as well. Engage your shoulder blades, engage your triceps, don't put the weight on the shoulders. That's all I got for you guys on the bench press. Remember, this is one variation of the bench press. If it doesn't work for your body, you don't need it, okay? But if you can, it's a great way to load the pushing movement to the greatest extent. That's all I got for you. This is John Chacon with your barbell bench press instructional. Stronger every day, guys. Peace.